than the normal usual data. If you have noticed or you've read somewhere that the amount of data we all have generated in the last 2 years is actually 80% of the data what we have from last 50 years. So which means in last 48 years, we generated only 20% of the data what we have today, and 80% of the data has been generated in just last 2 years. So now, artificial intelligence is nothing, we just try to mimic the natural intelligence what we all have and we all are good at. So artificial intelligence, in my view, will never surpass the natural intelligence. But yes, we try to come as close as possible. So what it does, it tries to recognize the speech, the pictures, the videos, the handwriting through various techniques, learning patterns, behaviors, and data. So when we say behavior analytics, there will be a time in coming 3 to 4 days of, not the days of 3 to 4 years or maybe 5 years, where you don't need to remember a password. Maybe you don't need a password because the system will be smart enough to recognize that this is Vinod's account and it is Vinod who's working on it. By recognizing your style of typing, the amount of pressure you apply on each key, so the machine would know that this is Vinod and I should allow the access. If this is not Vinod, I should discontinue the access. So there would be no need of remembering or making your passwords of complex password with one special letter, with one numerical. All those will be history. Then it also talks about the predicting and planning and forecasting. So the prediction it does the prediction based upon the past. So the assumption is that 80% of the past is repeated in future with the same trend. That is the assumption has been taken to predict the future. And of course, it does the problem resolution as well as anomaly detection. Anomaly detection, for example, you're in a habit of using your credit card and making a payment of certain value. All of a sudden, you always make payments of, let's say, between $100 to $500, but all of a sudden the payment comes for $1,000. So the machine is getting smart enough to recognize that this is anomaly. This is not a usual payment. Is it really somebody who's genuinely trying, or is it a fraudulent transaction? So which is not a new thing. It was there before, but now it has been given a new fancy name. So everything is becoming a fancy these days with the new names. So some of the jargons we have here are machine learning, neural networks. Neural networks is nothing, it's just been inspired by the human brains because human brain is made up of neural networks. So now the science is trying to say, how can we give the same neural network of a human to a computer so it can work accordingly and starts having an intelligence and consciousness as a human brain has. Deep learning and of course data science, but these are the few jargons. They never ends. So the example here, I think I will stop for now and will give you later in the slides. So I tried breaking these jargons in a simpler word as possible as I can. So what is big data? Big data is a very large scale data set. It is sequence analysis, meaning that this happens after this happens after this. So it tries to synchronize. Then the data segmentations. Who are my customers, where do they live, what do they buy, how often they buy, just to try to categorize outlook of the data, their data classification. That is what big data tells. Then the AI tells us the reasoning, that why it happened, the cognitive functions, learning algorithms. Algorithm is nothing, just a set of instructions to learn and make some science out of it. The problem solving, the action on data. Alright, so what do you get for marketers out of all these jargons? You make decisions based upon the big data and AI. You create products which are innovative. You capture value. You understand the business process better. That why do some consumers buy only specific product, not any other product? Is it because of the price range? Is it because of the taste? Is it because of the quality they like? Is it because they have been groomed in such a manner? So all this understanding comes with the data analytics. The optimization of course, understands your business better. When you understand the consumer better, you try and bring those learnings back into your business to improve the business processes, to create a better products. So you have new insights joining in and creating more value for the business. So now, again, like I kept mentioning that these are fancy words, so putting all together into one chart in a fancy manner. So what we call today is a diagnostic analytics, but it is nothing. It is same what you've been doing from ages, what is called as what it has is prescriptive analytics. So all these old fashioned words are now getting new fancy names. Try to add in front of or in back of everything what we normally do. If you pick up the word analytics, analytics is there from ages, but now it's just being added in front of each and every single fancy word. Descriptive analytics, prescriptive analytics. We talk about smart, everything is becoming smart. Smart education, smart devices, smart people, smart city. Everything is now. You remember 3 years back when the word pay came in, Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, everybody started using that word. So it's basically a very good mark. I don't know if it is, you guys know better, that it's a marketing technique to promote a word which is in trend and creates your business values and brings more consumers' attention to it. So I think you guys know better than me on that. But it's just the trend that we pick up a word, keyword of the duration, and we start adding it and keep promoting it. Alright, so here the 4 points, what actually the values for the marketing. All those were jargons now, but what are the benefits marketers get out of these jargons? You deploy the paid search. Marketers for brand can optimize the real-time bidding process for pricing and personalizing ad online. Better target certain demographics and personalized content geared towards specific customer segments. So let me give you a little bit of insight, but of course we can be a little human. You need to be very careful what you search on the internet. What do you do on your laptop or your personal PC if it's shared? Because what you search, what you do, the next person will know without even knowing it, without even searching anything, because the ads will start popping up according to your taste, what you've searched before. So, no privacy, if I can say so. If you're searching for a specific product, which may not be good for a certain age group, and if that age group comes onto the laptop next, on the same machine, they will start seeing the ads related to it. And nobody does it manually. It's all automated. It picks up the keywords that what user was searching for and try to create. So this is one of the examples. You can have several examples of this. How many steps you normally take in a day versus how many times you drive or you get driven. So now here, if you're trying to create the health insurance in a specific time period for a short-term insurance, it is very useful data. The car, if you have a smart cars or the car tracker involved into your car, it tracks every single habit of your car. How do you drive your car, your style of driving car. It is very important data for the insurer who's trying to protect or insure your car and put up a different premium charge for your car. If you're a very rash driver, of course you'll be paying higher insurance premium. If you're a very safe driver, you might be paying a little bit less insurance premium. So all these data are not useful for everyone, but of course useful for a particular segment and up to the person to drive more, what value to be driven out of it. Alright, so here I'll spend a little bit of time here on the slide. So what we are saying here is that why AI is initializing marketing? Because what we're saying, as per the source of the data, that 50%, 57% of the enterprise, effective or executives, believes AI will improve customer experience and support by using machine learning apps to more accurately predict outcomes. 58% of the enterprise prioritizing personalized customer care and new product development. These applications includes chatbots and virtual assistants, reducing revenue churn, facial recognitions, and product and services recommendations. How many of you have ever gone online to chat with your banker, with your any of the travel agents? If you have ever been chatted online, at least of the European companies or American companies or Southeast Asian companies, you have never interacted with human. Those all are robots, or what we call as chatbots at the back end. For instance, Barclays online chat is zero human chat. It's all chatbots which are based on softwares. Natural language processing, it processes your language and picks up the keywords, responds accordingly. Try and asking a question, what is the price of the pizza on the banking site? Then you will realize that this is not human. You will get the funny response. So, but normally we don't do that because we are human who has a very structured brain and very structured logical way of framing our questions. We go on a banking website, our mind is already framed that I'm going to ask the questions about my banking, about my account, about my balance, or about something. You're not going to ask, give me a chicken pizza with extra cheese on top of it. You will never say that. So those machines are not designed, but if you do that, you will realize that this is not a human, because if human is on the other side, you will get a very different kind of response, maybe a very polite response. So can you please stick to the business? But you might get an answer, sorry, I don't understand. How can somebody cannot understand if you say that I want a pizza with a chicken topping? So it's very clear indication it's not a human which is in the back end. It's a machine which is working at the back end. So by 2020, the real-time personalized advertising across digital platforms and optimized message targeting accuracy in context and precision will be explained. If you look at the graph and if you look at the section where you have convert and the dynamic pricing, it's not a new thing, it's a very common thing for the people in the MNO industry, the mobile network industry, where you do dynamic pricing, that you're in a specific location during the specific time of the day, your data prices gets reduced. But in the same area, in the different time, the data price shoots. For an instance, people live in a certain area A, and people work in area B. So in the morning, people move from area A to area B. So area A has now very less population and usually a very free zone in terms of or data. And area B is now densely populated because a lot of people are there, they're working there. So for me, it makes a lot of sense to create a promotion which will be given in area A, where I have very less traffic. Now, this all is been already happening, and MNO people are already doing it from ages, or probably from decades. But now, how this will help to analyze and create more value for the business by adding more use cases on top of it. This is what AI comes in and brings in. You talk about the retargeting, the web, the chatbots, the personality, the responsibilities modeling. Now, okay, let me just go to the next slide and we'll come back. All right, buy a certain product and you get a 20% discount. It's a what you normally buy. having a conversion rate of that particular instance compared to a message which you have received in the middle of the month when you have no money and you're sitting at home. You can analyze yourself what will be the conversion rate in both the scenarios. Now, you want to add a little more sugar to it. That's what I was talking here. That imagine now you're making a payment of $100, but you only have $80 in your wallet. You have the data of the consumer, the trend, how much the normally customer get paid, the spending habits, what he buys, when he buys, and from where he buys. The customer is now trying to make a payment of $100, but only has $80 in the wallet. Because of all the data, your machine is smart enough to create $20 credit on the fly without even asking the consumer, and tells the end, you're trying to make a payment of $100, but you only have $80 in your wallet. So $20 we're creating a loan for you, which you can return to us in next 4 months for $5 or $6 each. I can guarantee you that the consumer won't mind, at least I won't mind, because I'll be saved from the embarrassment at the till machine when I'm making a payment that I don't have enough money, but 1% rate of interest, but no one calculates. And the chances of failure is almost zero. Chances of losing that $20 is almost zero. Because the same consumer knows that if I'm in the same position next time, I'll be given preference. My service provider will save me, but not anyone else. So this is one of the classic example I gave from the joining the marketing and the AI together. Now you want to add a little more analytics here. What you can do is you can do the association mining, that consumer who has bought specific brand of t-shirt has also bought specific brand of shirts or trousers. By doing that, that data can be sold to the retailers, saying that this particular segment is always interested in this brand of t-shirts and also this brand of trousers. And that data can be utilized by marketing team to promote such products. Let me give you the live examples which are live in the industry. Have you heard Siri? The iPhone people, the users must know what is Siri, and the Microsoft people knows what is Cortana. It's a virtual assistant on your phone. You talk about anything to Siri or Cortana, or even just with a phone mic on. Next thing you will see the adverts related to talks. Imagine you have an iPhone sitting next to you. You're talking to your wife about, let's say, buying the new beddings. If you have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, such kind of application also installed in the phone, the next day, whether you realize or not, you will see the adverts related to those discussions and talks what you had with your partner yesterday. How it happens. Which means you have no privacy. You did not allow your phone to listen to your conversation, but your phone is listening to your conversation. So be very careful what you converse. What do you do? What do you talk, right? So better switch off everything. So the point is that the marketing in the rest of the world, a part of the world, has gone to a level where they have compromised your privacy at a very extreme level. And this is the reason the GDPR, the new General Data Protection Rule, came out in Europe. I'm sure it will slowly gradually come in Africa as well. And that was the only reason GDPR came into enforce. But how much it will be implemented in a real scenario, that's a different story. At least a law now came out. Talk about the Google Maps. It serves your data to retail stores, tour companies, and airlines. It sells your data. You might have seen that Google is asking you that you are a specific location. rated, and you'll be given certain points. But what is the idea behind it? What is the marketing strategy behind it? What are you going to achieve by getting few points and telling that among your friend circle that you have a rating A, the other friend has a rating B, and the rating B wants to go on to the rating A? What are you sharing? What are you telling to those marketers? That you were at this location at this time, you were at this location at this time, you were eating, you were at the gym. But the next thing is that they will sell the data and create a business case out of it. That, for example, if I take my name, Vinod likes to spend 20 minutes of his everyday time in gym in the morning. Why not to sell him the energy drinks which he will consume in the morning? He likes traveling too much for business reasons, for personal reasons. Why not to tell him the ads, or why not to serve him the ads where we give the hotel deals, where we give the cheap airfare? So these are the marketing strategies used by Google. You pick up any example, like for example, recommendation engines which I have spoken about, Amazon. How many people have gone on Amazon or any other e-commerce site? You must have realized that you buy a certain product A, on the bottom of that page, you will see that people who have bought this, they have also bought this. So those are the associations which they normally create and such like. The browser injections, this is what I was talking about. You search about specific type of content. 5 minutes later, you will see an advert related to it in your browser. Those are browser injections. You try to search for a hotel in Bali or in Europe somewhere. 5 minutes later, you open up a new browser, you will see the ads there. That's what I was talking about. Be very careful if you're using a public machine or a shared machine, specifically with your children. What you search, the next thing is your children are going to see on your machine. So anyways, I'll stick to the topic of marketing and AI. Now, let's go back to the same slide where we need to discuss it a bit more. Yes, and here. So what we are saying is that what all applications of AI in marketing we have. We have smart content creations, we have the programmatic media blocking, where the marketers gets information from the consumer or about the consumer with the content which are related to the consumer. The consumer likes to see football more compared to the cricket. If you serve a cricket content to that consumer is not going to be happy. It's not going to come back. So this time is not that you're going to serve one ad to the entire population of the area. Those days are the past. It is not going to bring any value. If you have 1 million people in an area, you have to serve 1 million different ads to those million subscribers with the AI or in analytics manner. And service comes only when you actually have the basic understanding of how these machine learnings works and how they are taking up some level of jobs in marketers. Anyways, I'm not trying to create any fear in marketers, but this is the reality.